where are you at just in terms of getting ready for the season? Steve said that to ask you.
Yeah, don't ask Steve anymore, please. Let him focus on team, wins and losses. I'll be there when I be there.
How many games I mean, like, you talked about having a plan with Rick. That was part of the reason you came back. Like, what is that plan?
Plan that's in place.
Does it include you playing in the next month, I mean, like, do you have it scripted out to a point like this is when I would like to be back? Or?
No, honestly, I think we kind of know, so we got a target date. So we ramp it up. We got real good days. We got some days that might take you back, but I think we're on the right path. Any
chance you want to hint at that target date?
Nah, because then,
if you're not there,
then you're doing something wrong, and then there's noise that is not helpful to everybody else. So soon.
Is there a plan, even if, like, let's say you return at some point, is there even a plan that, regardless of how the body's feeling, to like not play that much, even, in the last few months?
I don't think so. I think once we plan. Because I think last year kind of helped us a lot too, just having that data in place. We figured out what the issue may have been. And so we're just trying to not let that happen again.
Have you been able to scrimmage and participate in that aspect of practice yet?
I haven't scrimmaged yet. So I think I don't think we're that far from scrimmaging though. Yeah, so we're not too far from there.
I mean, what specifically are you doing on the court and getting yourself ready so you are ready to scrimmage?
Yeah, I think I'm working. I have like a load that I'm looking for, analytical load, in terms of there's like a number that you want to have as an output with the devices that we wear, the tracking devices. Sounds kind of scary, but I've hit that a couple of times, and then we know how many days a week I need to hit that. So I think the only thing that really gets in the way kind of maybe the travel sometimes. Because once you get in the air and the pressure on the body, you get a lot of inflammation. You got to let it calm down. Seeing how long it takes to calm down, then you ramp it back up. So just trying to get a good feel for that.
How does your game feel, and how confident are you once you come back? You can just kind of hop right back in the rotation.
Just the feel, just getting out the turnovers. That's always my thing. Just get out all the turnovers. Shoot the ball better than I thought I would be. So I guess as the older you get, I guess that stays there. So shooting the ball better than I thought. So that's a good thing. I've been working with JK a lot. He and I have been doing a lot of things together. That's been real good. Jacob Rubin and AV, who just came up on staff. He's been really good with a lot of different guys. So those two I've been working with JK, and I think the last week we've got a lot of really good work in.
Johnny gave us a vague tease of what to expect for the Point Forward podcast tomorrow. Can you give us some insight on what we're getting season 2?
Oh yeah, we spoke about the Phoenix game a little bit. Clay and Booker, that was fun. We had some business stuff. Y'all don't know who the guest is yet? Oh, the guest is good. He's one of the richest people in the world, in the league.
Oh,
there's your answer.
There you go.
Sorry.
Forbes just released the story.
Oh, they just released a story. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
like an hour ago, or.
No, I already know who's it is. It's listed. Yeah.
You got the scoop. Why didn't you get it out?
I didn't have the scoop. I just know who's the richest.
No, not the valuation of franchises. The Warriors just hopped to the number 1 over the Lakers.
Oh, so I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I did see the Lakers and Knicks, but I didn't know the
Warriors just went above them for the first time.
Oh, Steph got a piece of that?
You tell me.
I would hope so.
What are your thoughts on that?
There's my thought.
What you've been working with JK, we've seen that, in the little bit of practices that we've seen. I mean, what have you seen from him? What advice would you give him as he's trying to get more minutes?
Yeah, I think the toughest thing for people to understand is young players, a good amount of young players when they're drafted and, top 10, 15, they're going to teams that are rebuilding and they're fine with losing. And so they're able to grow without the pressures of having to win or having to sacrifice for winning, they can just go play. And I think for JK, even Moses, even Wise is, we're still winning championships, and they're not allowed to play through as many mistakes. And so it can be, you teeter in that line with the confidence. And that's why I say, the last week with JK has been really good. All training camp, he's been really good. The biggest thing with him is just making sure that he stays confident and in good spirits. And if he's not in good spirits, understanding it's not a bad attitude. It's actually a good thing. You would want a guy upset if he's not playing. And so I think sometimes it might be viewed the wrong way. And the difficult part about the league is, sometimes the perception can become reality, and then they label you a certain way. And the rest of your career, you're labeled as a guy because, your circumstances are a little bit different. So for him, I think he's done a really good job of staying positive, staying hungry, and just being ready for his moments. And, everyone expects him to have, huge nights every single night. With our team, we have so much depth. It's hard for, anyone outside of, Steph or the guys that shoot a lot of the balls to, consistently get comfortable. So he'll get there. He'll be fine.
Go ahead.
Were you happy to see Wiggins sign a contract, both from the standpoint of his peace of mind and also the team concept?
Yeah, I thought it was really good for Wiggs to sign. Especially, all the noise that's come his way throughout his career, and he's consistently put up good numbers. And, there was a knock that he was doing it on a bad team. He did it on a good team. So I was really happy for that. And, just him as a two-way guy next to Steph, I think they're a very, very great match. And to, their years are matched up now, right? In terms of remainder of years, I think it's really, really good for both of those guys. And, it looks like this organization's still going to continue to compete at a super high level for the next, 4 years.
What are your thoughts on the defense early on? You guys, I think, are ranked 22nd right now. What are you seeing that's not going well defensively?
I think, this is this group's first time defending, not having an understanding of the level of competition we're going to get night in, night out, being the defending champs. Everyone's going to play their best basketball against us. I think all but one of our games have been on national TV, right, so far? Yeah. And then tonight, national TV game as well. So we're going to get teams' best shot, and we have to expect that. And, you're going to get guys that play the best basketball of their entire lives on any given night against us. And we have to prepare for that and understand that that actually puts us in the best position to go into the playoffs because we got the best competition every single night. Therefore, we've seen it the most. We got the most experience against the best competition. Therefore, it's to set us up. So we got to keep all that in mind. And, we're still, what is it? You might be championship drunk a little bit, trying to get into the season, trying to ease into it where everyone else is full throttle and they're just ready to, punch us in the mouth, similar to what Phoenix did. So we just got to, be ready and have a better mindset. I shouldn't say better, just understanding that going into each game, especially tonight and going into this road trip. We got a crazy, crazy road trip with the games being so compact and close together.
Does that same philosophy or kind of message feed into the second unit that's also hasn't quite figured itself out yet?
Yeah, the second unit they haven't played together as much, and so they're trying to figure it out. You got JP. When I was playing with him, he didn't have as much of a load on himself, trying to facilitate and score, know who he's on the court with, figure each guy out, which is what he's having to do now. And this is going to take time. We're only 4 games in. It really takes time to build the camaraderie with your unit. And then, we know how we do where we switch it up at any given moment and you got to figure it out all over again. But that's just a part of being a professional. And second unit has to continue to get experience with each other, but also I think look to sacrifice for each other a little bit more. Everyone's trying to find their rhythm, and sometimes it can be forced, and you don't always want to have like you overforce something and it's disrupting your teammate, and now he starts overforcing and it just becomes a domino effect. And but defensively, that's more important than anything. I think sometimes we're trying to figure out how to move offensively, and it leads to a bad shot, which bad shot is like a turnover. It leads to easy transition points. So just getting that continuity with the second group, and over time, I think we'll get it.
I wanted to go back to the young guys and JK really quick. Obviously, there's a lot of pros to being on a team that's contending and being, having so much talent and upside. But you mentioned being on a shorter leash when you do make mistakes. Do you feel is it possible that maybe because they've been on such a good team and their leash is shorter, that their on-court development might have been stunted compared to other guys that are able to just go out there, continue to make mistakes, get a lot more minutes, and get a lot more reps?
No, I actually think it's the opposite. I think you learn how to win. You get, we've always talking about like our bottom of our league is we got to raise that bar. I think a part of that is, your purpose on the floor. And I think everyone's purpose on the floor should be, how do I put my team in the best position to be able to win, or am I making winning plays? And I think on bad teams, you develop losing habits. You get comfortable with losing. And then you just put up a bunch of empty stats. And then now you have that problem. When you're a losing team, are those real stats or are those empty stats? And then, you got a guy like Wiggs who gets thrown in there and he shouldn't be. So you just, you're trying to figure out, is it the organization or is it the player? And so I think for JK, even Moses, even Wise, you're learning how to play winning basketball. And then, you got to be patient in this league as well. Who's to say if you go somewhere and you develop to your best ability for your talent, losing, who's to say, they give up on you. You see that happen a lot in the league, where you see very, very talented guys and teams give up on a guy and they end up in another situation. They do really well. So it's just about him being patient, or them being patient, and understanding, like, when you learn winning basketball, then you get into your prime. You're still only 20 years old. You're 24 years old. He still got 10 years. He can be dominant, playing at a high level with winning ways of basketball. And I think that's the making of a true champion.
What you thought about James as he kind of reintegrates back in?
Yeah, James is, I think he's doing a great job of working with Decky, our big man coach, and understanding some of the philosophies he has around the game of basketball as a big. And we're in a guard-dominant league, a guard-centric league, where, everything's, driven by the guard being able to score, or the floor being spread, or you have, generational talents like Jokic and Embiid, who bigs who play in the perimeter as well. So for him, I think he's done a really good job of going back to the basics of being a true big. He's got the other skill sets, but, it's kind of like JK. You learn how to play winning basketball, get locked down the fundamentals, and then you'll be able to expand your game from there. So I think he and Decky have done a really good job of, just trying to build a base and build around that.
Are you enjoying yourself? I mean, your role on this team and what you came back for. And I mean, obviously you guys dealt with something in the preseason, which you were heavily involved with. Like, where are you at on I guess, your job right now?
I came to work today on time. Yeah, be cool.